These are the latest models from the Byron Bay manufacturer, the Scrambler and Drifter. Inspired by vintage cafe races, these e-bikes are street legal and retail at $3,300 and $3,800 respectively. Now you're probably wondering, what's the difference? I mean, there are a lot of things in common between these two models, from the rear hub motor to the Dapper electronics and the 8-speed Shimano drivetrain. But what separates them essentially is the frame size and accessories, which I will touch later on in this video. So basically, the Scrambler, this one here, is a smaller frame size, suited to small and medium riders, whereas the Drifter over there is more suited to large and extra large riders. For example, Jason Momoa. But what's interesting is that the measurements like the seat tube and effective top tube are pretty much the same between the two models. The only significant differences were the rim widths and seat stay and chainstay lengths. The Scrambler uses 60mm wide rims compared to the 75mm used on the Drifter. And this allows the Drifter to fit optional 4-inch tires if you want more fatness for the beach. Now the chainstay of the Drifter is 15mm longer. And I mean, this is evident when you turn the bike cranks towards the rear. You can clearly see the Drifter has more clearance, a lot more clearance. Talk about cutting it close, which would only be possible by the custom cranks. I'm assuming they weren't just custom made to fit the bike, but also to complete the look. Okay, so the bikes look amazing, but let's get down to business. How much power does it have? What sort of brakes is it using? How does it perform? These are the important questions which I hopefully answer by the end of this video. At the rear, you'll find a 250-watt motor from, and forgive me again if I pronounce this incorrectly, Dapper Motors. They're a Japanese company and make electrical components for e-bikes from motors to controllers. Now you may have never heard of this brand before, but rest assured they have positive reviews and are the choice in names such as Pedigo and BH Easy Motion. Now there is an option for a 500-watt motor, which is only available for off-road use and countries where 500-watt is street legal. This option is available for both models and bumps up the Samsung battery from a 36V to a 48V and the capacity from 500Wh to 650Wh. Now on average, a 500-watt juice pack with a 250-watt motor can get you around 50 kilometers. However, with the heavier Vallkree e-bikes, you'll probably get somewhere closer to 40 to 45 kilometers, which Vallkree estimates as well. Now with the 500-watt motor and the slightly bumped up battery, you can expect less range, somewhere closer to 35 kilometers. This is something to consider if you're thinking about the 500-watt option. Now unfortunately, Vallkree don't offer any other capacity options for the battery, but perhaps this is something that we can look forward to in the future. Moving on, what about the components? Well, the Scrambler and Drifter are fitted with the same 8-speed Shimano Astro drivetrain, Astro cassette, shifter and derailleur. For the brakes, you'll find the 2-piston hydraulic disc brakes from Tektro, which are e-bike friendly. E-bike friendly, guys. So as soon as you pull the brake levers, the motors will cut out. This is a safety feature, but unfortunately, that means you can't do donuts. Bummer. And if you're thinking about using the throttle to chuck some skids, well, I have some bad news, because you can't do that because it's limited to 6 kilometers per hour to comply with Australian laws. But enough of that, let's jump into riding them.
Oh boy.
It's definitely not a one-person job. I mean, these are heavy bikes. I mean, I did it with one person, but it would be easier with two. So just something to consider if you think about getting these and actually going out and riding with them somewhere far away from home. I mean, it's good if you live on the beach because you can just take it out and ride, but if you've got to actually take it somewhere, it's a bit heavy. Dude, so fun. So fun on the beach. Huh?
Hoping our smiles on our face on camera.
I know, I'm hoping the camera catches our smiles because, wow.
Like driving on the beach.
It's like
sea breeze and everything.
Yeah, I know, it's the sea breeze and everything.
Went all the way up to...
So the first thing you'll notice when you jump on the Vallkree e-bikes is the weight. It's really got some weight to it. I mean, it is 35 kilos, so it is pretty heavy, and it honestly feels like a motorbike. I feel like the only thing that would make it feel more like a motorbike is if it sounded like one.
Well, now you can with turbo spokes.
I actually wanted to purchase a kit from my local store, but they didn't have any in stock. Let's see the clips of the e-bikes with the motorbike sounds dubbed over anyway. Ooh, that's sweet. This is as close as I'm gonna get to ride a motorbike. I think Vallkree should really make this an option for the Scrambler and Drifter. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, the bike is heavy. At approximately 30 kilograms, it's heavy even for an e-bike, with the average weight of e-bikes being around 25 kilograms. This obviously affects the performance of the bike, and you will struggle a little bit more going up a hill. But let me be clear here, you will still get the powered assistance, just not as much as the other street legal e-bikes. If you're looking for a bike to climb hills, then this e-bike may not be for you, because the purpose of this bike is to cruise and look good. Give it some nice flat paved paths or a beach and this thing will power you to 25 kilometers and just simply cruise. In saying that, I was fortunate enough to test the unrestricted version as well, and I thought it would be a good idea to show the hill test between the two. As you can see there, the unrestricted version does help on the hills, and obviously the flats, maxing out at 35-40 kilometers per hour.
Yeah. So what's that, like less, 10 k's less?
Yeah, that's about right.
It's not too bad.
Does it still accelerate just as well there?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there you have it,
It's not
folks.
really noticeable because it's not about going fast, it's about
It's about cruising.
enjoying.
Well, I mean, that's the thing about this bike.
It's not built to go 70 k's an hour.
Well, exactly, yeah.
You filming?
Right, so another thing that you'll notice when you jump on the Vallkree is the saddle. I mean, the leather saddle is one of, if not the most comfiest saddles I've ever sat on. You know, it's up there with the Smart Motion E-City, which I've said in the past review to be the most comfiest e-bike. It's a little different than the E-City. I guess the best way to explain it is, with the E-City from Smart Motion, the saddle molded to your butt. But, no pun intended, with this, the Vallkree, your butt molds to the saddle, and it kind of supports it.
You know what else works? The custom-made genuine Australian leather for the saddle and handlebar grips. The detail in these accessories are just phenomenal. When you grip the cruiser handlebars, your palms are greeted by quality leather, which really completes the feel of the bike. Little things like this and the quality swinging door that allows easy access to the battery, which is well packaged by the way, and also the USB charging where the controller is, all add to a polished finished product. They also took the liberty to include a headlight and taillight for both bikes. This led me into my second point of difference between the two models. The headlight. As you can see here, they are different, with the Drifter equipped with a much larger design. Now both are LED and do a fine job at illuminating the path in front of you. So it's not just for show, and the rear taillight does offer 3 modes for you to use as well. I did a few night rides with these and thought they did a good job, so you won't have to buy extra lights if you want to ride these at night. One thing I have to mention though is that the Scrambler headlight is brighter, but that's because of the smaller spread, whereas the Drifter covered a larger area. You can see it in these comparison shots here. There's no word on the options for these headlights, but if you did want the Drifter headlight on the Scrambler, I guess it doesn't hurt to ask Vallkree.
So the geometry is a little bit weird. I mean, I'm riding the Drifter right now, which is, you know, meant to be a large or extra large bike, but it does feel a little bit cramped for me. I guess I am like 6'4", but good lord, this bike is fun. Oh man. I think the bars need to be out wider.
I got long
a
arms
lot
too.
wider.
Like,
yeah.
Okay, so for the large/extra large riders out there, don't be discouraged. You still fit on the e-bike comfortably with some adjustments. One of those adjustments will obviously be the seat height. Now, some of those people will say that it doesn't look as cool. I mean, I'd assume one of the biggest reasons in buying one of these is because of its looks. If you bought a Vallkree, you obviously bought it because you want to break necks as you cruise by. So for those people, it is a little bit of a bummer. But is this compromise a deal breaker?
Hell no!
The bike still looks cool, not Johnny Cash eating cake while high as a kite cool, but still pretty cool. The Scrambler and Drifter are quite frankly non-identical twins. These babies share the same electronics, components, and looks, and only differentiate with the size and the headlight. It seems our Vallkree have found a design that works, and use the same recipe for the larger model. And I don't blame them, it works. The e-bikes are amazing. Aesthetically, it's off the chart. It looks superb. Quality build all around and comfortable to ride all day long. However, sitting at 30 kilograms on the scales, it does affect the motor performance of these bad boys. If power is something you're really looking for, you can consider the 500 watt option. But mind you, that will class the e-bike for off-road use only in Australia, and your range is limited. Considering the purpose of the bike and everything else, it's a small compromise that I'd be willing to make. Well, that wraps up the video review. I hope you guys found it helpful, and if you liked the video, give us a thumbs up, and if you like our channel, subscribe to us. You can also follow and like us on Facebook and Instagram to stay up to date with the latest e-bike content. See you in the next video, guys. Peace.